As a full-time working artist, posture is important. I don't think we talk enough about the physical aspect of what it looks like and feels like to paint full-time. I've been very fortunate to physically be able to do what I do, especially after the medical and physical challenges that I've faced over my lifetime. If you have been with me over the years, you know what some of those challenges have been. But if you're new to following me, you may not understand or know that part of my history. My initial degree was in elementary ed, and I was a school teacher for kids, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. But I had to give up that because my body broke down. To date, I've had 28 surgeries. Now, about 8 or 9 have been just typical C-section, tonsils, gallbladder, you know, the stuff. But the majority of them have been orthopedic. My spine, the discs, deteriorated at a rapid rate way too soon. It was premature degenerative disc disease. We all get degenerative disc disease, but most of us get it when we age, when we get older. And our family runs it prematurely. So when I was 23, my spine, the discs had already aged to about 85. That's what they told me. And once your spine is off and your discs start blowing out, your gait's off. And when your gait's off, your joints wear out. And it's a domino effect. Add that to a whole lot of other issues that I had. And I ended up having to go on disability for about 10 years. Was in a wheelchair for a while and had a lot of complications from surgeries. My reality about posture was wrecked because I physically couldn't do what I did when I was younger. I was an athlete and I loved moving dynamically. And when my body broke down, it was soul crushing, physically, emotionally, mentally. But I pulled out of that through the help of a whole lot of people. Number one, my family and my sweet hubs and everyone who supported me, but I had a team of doctors and physical therapists and eventually got into a saltwater pool and I rehabbed and I was able to come back from the abyss of a lifetime of morphine and Dilaudid and fentanyl patches, and that was about the best that they could do. I stand here today as a miracle because I was told I would be incontinent but paralyzed in both legs by one doctor. I had arachnoiditis, which is a horrific spinal cord disease. And I can only attribute where I'm at, number one, because of my faith and by the grace of God, but also the hours and amount of rehab that I committed to at least attempt to get somewhat of a life back. Over the last 20 years of me painting and being able to teach full time, I've been so grateful, but behind the scenes, it hasn't always been easy. And as I've gotten older, my spine is continuing to deteriorate, and there's going to be some really big challenges that I've got to face moving forward as I age. This past year, I've fallen 3 times, and one of the falls was quite significant. And that makes it really, really hard to face, how do you maneuver physically in a safe way when you travel and when you work full time? What's the posture that I've got to change when I'm attempting to sit in a chair and paint more than 15 minutes at a time? The sitting, even this posture right here with the pressure back here, it's uncomfortable. I've also lost a tremendous amount of weight. And with that weight loss, I've lost muscle tone and muscle mass. So I'm at a deficit today. Not creatively, but physically. And that's been on my mind a good bit as I think about planning for workshops and what I'm going to be teaching and where I want to travel and teach and things like that. I want to be able to do that safely. I can't do those things, though, unless I'm willing to go back to the physical task of rehabbing the body. So the past few weeks, I've gone back to the pool, and at the pool, is the only space that I can safely exercise in because I'm such a fall risk. I have no ability to sit on the floor and get up without assistance. I have no ability to stand on my right leg any length of time because I'm going to it will buckle, I'll fall. There's just things that are big challenges. Even walking along the neighborhood, one of my terrible falls was I was just out walking. So I'm having to regroup a little bit physically and think about these things, but I'm also thinking about them from a professional point of view in our postures as painter, in how I grip, and do I take breaks? And what's my posture when I'm working on large pieces compared to small? And if I'm hunched over, I'm beginning to reconsider all of these different things. And I don't think we talk about them enough in the art world and craft world because, we just get in the moment, right? We love what we're doing. And then we think 15 minutes has gone by and it's actually been 2 hours and we've been in the same spot. That's a challenge. So lately, the concept of balance in my world is balancing time out of the studio and back into rehabbing the body physically and attempting to increase my muscle tone, muscle mass, and stability. While I consider working a little bit more wisely and differently. If you want to pull up a chair and follow this journey, I'm going to be sharing a good bit of this journey with you all because I think it's important. I think it's important because artists of a certain age, I'm a Gen Xer, I'm 57. I have a lot of medical challenges, but I also am just getting older and I want to age gracefully. I know that the cards are stacked against me, at least with my spine, but I'm going to do everything I can to make that transition as good as it can be. But a lot of that's going to move over into the physical workspace of what length of time can I physically paint and how do I have to transition that? I don't know yet. I'm also really thinking about the diet and what I'm feeding myself. So as I move into 2025, as crazy as this year has been for so many reasons, it's also going to be a year that I'm splitting between a focus on eating healthier, moving healthier, and rehabbing the body so that I can physically alter my posture and how I approach painting full time because I don't want to ever have to go backwards to living a life on 14 meds a day. I don't know. So I just wanted to share that with you all and give you a little bit of insight as to where I'm headed in my career and what I'm focused on right now. It's one reason I paint complex systems and dynamic energy. I can no longer move dynamically, but I'm still fascinated by the human body and the systems and how it all works. We'll see what happens. I've got a big road ahead of me. And if you see me walking with a cane, it's why. But I'm grateful for those things because they assist me in being a little bit more safe and just slowing down. But I'm going to overcome this like I did before. At least I'm determined to give it my best. If you want to pull up a chair and share this journey with me, I would love to know what you're currently doing in your own worlds to eat healthier, move, think about your posture as a painter. Or is that even on your radar right now? And maybe it should be.